Hi, I'm a big Hannah Montana fan, so I figured today we'll just do a ranking of all the songs from the series, and might be the movie here as well. I think there's some songs from the movie, but some others are missing. That's kind of unfortunate, but roll with it. Okay, there are 6 tiers, but only 5 of them I'm going to be ranking. I just have one at the bottom for the songs that I can't seem to remember. I either know them and they're just not coming into my head, or I've genuinely never heard them before. But I'll come back to them once I've ranked all the other songs. So let's get started. So the 5 ranking categories are don't like, meh, pretty good, bop, and legendary. So let's get started. First up is Rockstar, and to be honest, I don't really like this one. I can see why it's a good song, it just, something doesn't do it for me. Now, Who Said used to be my favourite Hannah Montana song when I was younger, because it kind of just reflects the invincibility of you as a child quite well. So it's going into legendary. Make Some Noise, again, I don't really like this one. It's kind of the same as Rockstar, that I can see why it's a good song. I mean, it's kind of like ideal for concerts and stuff like that, but it's just not really my thing. Ordinary Girl, again, it's just kind of too slow for me, but the lyrics are pretty good, so we'll put it into meh. Now, This Is the Life, the first song in the series, if you discount the theme song, and I do like this one because it's a pretty good symbol of the good times in life. It's not spectacular by any means though, so I'll put it in pretty good. I Got Nerve. Now this one is certainly a bop because the music itself is absolutely phenomenal. It's just, I feel like the lyrics in the verses aren't that great. I mean, the chorus is like catchy as hell, but the verses keep it out of legendary for me, so it's bop. Best of Both Worlds, probably the most memorable song from the series, maybe other than He Could Be the One. So yeah, it's clearly a good song, but my problem is I feel like it's overplayed, because obviously you hear it at the start of every episode, and I don't know if it's a controversial opinion of mine, but I prefer the original to the version that they did in 2009, I think it was. So I guess I'll put it in meh, but above Ordinary Girl. Now, Life's What You Make It. It's pretty catchy, but I don't really like it that much, to be honest. So it can go in meh below the other 2 songs there. Spotlight. This is definitely an underrated one, because you get to the chorus in this song and it just hits so hard. I love it. I'll put it in pretty good, I think. Just below This Is the Life. Oh. Every Part of Me, it's good lyrically, very good lyrically. It's quite deep even all these years later, but I don't feel like there's a lot in the sort of melody itself. Like, it'll be some people's thing. It'll be some other people's cup of tea, but it doesn't really do it for me. That was unintended poetry, and I've done it again there, so thankfully I've ended it. So Every Part of Me, it can go in there above Life's What You Make It. He Could Be the One. I cannot deny its iconicness from the show, but to be honest, I think it's heavily overplayed. Like, it's good, but I just kind of get annoyed of hearing it. So I'll put it in pretty good. Below Spotlight. There you go. Now then, True Friend. Clear bop. Just clear bop. I don't need to say a lot about this song. You listen to it and I'm sure for most people it reminds them of their closest friend. Even if like they've not been your close friend for the entirety of your life, they still mean the world to you. And yeah, I think that song is dedicated to all the best friends out there in the world. Okay, next up we have I'll Always Remember You, and I feel like this comes from a collection of Hannah Montana songs that hit a lot deeper the older you get. And a lot of those are because they're like in the Flashlight from Pitch Perfect 2 vein, where they're kind of about school or whatever equivalent, and the friends that you have there and how when you eventually leave, you go into the real world and you don't have those people necessarily anymore, and life gets harder. And yeah, I think this one is a good one because it has the two key sort of emotions in it, of sort of sadness that it's over, but the happiness that it happened. So it's definitely a bop worthy. Now, Hannah's venture into hip hop with Ayaz, who is of course a legend. Shorty's like a melody. I'm not much of a hip hop person. If it's your thing, then that's cool, but it's not my thing. So it can't really get very high. But it will go in there because not always, but occasionally, if it comes on for me, I will definitely bop to it. So we'll put it above Life's What You Make It in there. Now, Ice Cream Freeze, which just felt like an unnecessary extension of Hoedown Throwdown. It's kind of catchy, but like, it's not very good, so don't like. Now, Just Like You. This is another very underrated one, in my opinion. I think, for me, my connections to it are probably significant because I got back into Hannah Montana because of the Wii game. That I bought it at CEX randomly one day, like nearly 3 years ago now, and I played it and loved it and was reminded of all the songs, and then suddenly I got out the Hannah Montana playlist on Spotify and was listening to a lot of the songs, all because of the Wii game. And of course, when Disney Plus came out, that eventually turned into watching the show all the way through. But all that started with the Wii game, and when you launch the Wii game, Just Like You plays in the menu. And I think it's mainly because its intro has the sound which just suits the game, the time, and the genre so well. You obviously all have had to heard the song to know what I mean, but I assume if you're watching a tier list of the songs, you've heard at least some Hannah Montana songs. So this one's going in legendary, above Who Said. Because maybe Who Said is the better song, but Just Like You will always mean so much because if any of the songs started me getting back into Hannah Montana, that was it. Okay, Bigger Than Us. This one's pretty good. I think I can't really relate to the song because, like Amy Royce, I have no aspirations of love. I mean, the song could be referring to a different kind of love, but yeah, it is nice for it. It is nice that the song kind of reflects the wish to acquire such love. So I'll put it in pretty good. Below He Could Be the One. Now, another iconic song, If We Were a Movie. Now, if we're talking about the Hannah solo version, then I probably put it in pretty good because it's a good song, but I think it needed two people singing it to really capture the true mood of the song, and obviously they did that in the episode that Corbin Bleu was in, and then I believe it was the third season's album that it was on, and yeah, it significantly improved the song, in my opinion. So it's another one for the bop tier. What's Not to Like? Now, if I remember rightly, this one has the intro that sounds like it's ripped straight out of a game show. So in some ways I like that, but in others, the song, it really isn't memorable, I don't feel like. Because, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but the song kind of feels like Hannah's just bragging about being famous and all the things she gets to do. So I'll put it in Don't Like, but above Make Some Noise and Ice Cream Freeze because the intro saves it. Just, I Wanna Know You. Now, shout out to Caitlin McKillop because she did a video ranking the Hannah Montana songs a while back, and because of her I know that people who are a bit older now tend to find they understand this song a lot better through being in a relationship. But like, I've never been in a relationship and never aspire to be in one, so I cannot talk of the feeling of that. I guess there are times in my life where there's been people that I've either been like somewhat friends with or not friends with at all and wanted to become better friends with them, so maybe that's a way I can find it somewhat relatable. So I guess balancing my own opinion of the song with other people's opinion of the song, I'll put it at the top of pretty good. Not quite bop tier. No. Old Blue Jeans. Most naughty song that ever existed. Absolute iconic song in the series. I mean, to be honest, it isn't that good, but I feel like it's just purely iconic. So it has to be at least bop tier. I'll sneak it above if we were a movie. Been here all along. In the show, in the context of the show, this is a very good song because it's about the kids of people in the armed forces. And while I'm not personally in favour of a lot of what armies involve, I don't ever intend to disrespect anyone who does wish to pursue that avenue. And so I feel like this song might hold a special place in the hearts of people who are in the scenario that Jesse was in that episode of having a dad in the army. And so I'll put it in pretty good above Spotlight because I can appreciate what the song must mean to some people. Okay, Barefoot Cinderella. I guess this one's kind of confusing. Like, when I got back into the show and was getting back into the songs, this song did kind of confuse me at first. Like, I don't think it's anything foot fetish related, but, like, maybe it was. I don't know. But the more I hear the song, the more I can kind of see it as trying to say that the good looks or the most fabulous outfits don't change beauty. And yeah, I feel like as a young person, that's a message that you really need to hear, that beauty comes from within. And so I'll put this in pretty good too, because I think if you understand the meaning, it does a good job of conveying that meaning. But I feel like, but maybe the song could have been written slightly better. But to be honest, melodically, the song is pretty good. I'll give it that. Now, Wherever I Go, this one I used to love. I mean, maybe because I was like a massive fan of Miley and Lily's friendship in the show, but over time, now the song just hits too deep. Like with me having left secondary school about a year ago, and yeah, I don't really talk to that many people from my secondary school now. So yeah, the song tells the story of the invincibility that you feel with your friend group, and yeah, I guess ever since I realised that it isn't true in the real world, it's kind of hard to listen to the song. So I guess I like it less, but theoretically that should mean it's a good song, maybe? I don't really know. I'm confused. I'll put it in bop, sure, next to I'll Always Remember You, because they're kind of both the same songs about the same thing. Supergirl, lyrically, it's got a very good meaning. It kind of, looking back, it's kind of a cry for help. So lyrically it's good, but melodically it kind of gets annoying quickly, I found. Because I used to like the song a lot, but now I just skip it whenever it comes on, because I think it just gets repetitive more than a lot of the other songs do. So I'll put it at the bottom of there, just to indicate I used to like it, but now I don't like it. So it falls in the middle. Nobody's Perfect. It might be the best song in the show because it just has a great message. You know, nobody's perfect. You live and you learn it again and again till you get it right. And that's okay. I think that's an important message you have to hear as a young person, that people aren't perfect. You're not perfect. It's okay to make mistakes, because everybody has mistakes. Everybody has mistakes. Because everybody makes mistakes. Everyone has those days. Now, I think the personal connection for it is less than Just Like You, so I'll put it just below. I'm Still Good. It's very catchy. It's got decent lyrics and a very catchy melody. So I'll put it in meh. I feel like it's kind of fits the category of alright but unspectacular. Que Sera, I just don't really like this one. I I don't really know how to justify it. It doesn't have anything that I look for in a song. So yeah, I guess I'll leave it at that. Okay. You'll always find your way back home. This one is of course iconic. It might be the only one from the movie here as well, which is annoying because there are some good songs from the movie. But yeah, You'll Always Find Your Way Back Home is just a very good song. And like from talking to adults and stuff like that, they often tell of how you never sort of forget where you came from, because you can travel the whole world, but there's still only ever going to be one place that raised you for most people. Now, I know people sometimes move around as a child, but I think even some of the people who do that may have stayed at one particular location for longer, and so that may feel like their home place. But yeah, I think the song is a good sort of bringing you down to earth song for a lot of people who maybe as a child or a teenager or even like a young adult think that they're just going to escape where they're from forever. Like that's especially reflected in a lot of pop punk songs where they really hate their hometown. But yeah, I think the song is very grounding and incredibly catchy. The chorus just hits so hard. You can change your hair and you can change your clothes, you can change your mind, that's just the way it goes. You can say goodbye and you can say hello, but you'll always find your way back home. You can change your style, you can change your jeans, you can let it fly and you can chase your dreams, you can laugh and cry, but everybody knows you'll always find your way back home. Yeah, thank you for listening to my performance. It'll go in legendary above Who Said. Pumping Up the Party, Series 1 classic. It's alright. I don't really listen to it much, but it's definitely a good one to dance to on the Wii game, so I'll put it in pretty good. Let's Get Crazy. This one has a good tempo to it, but not a lot else. I don't really remember it too fondly, so I'll put it in there above Supergirl. We Got the Party. Now this is the one that has a collaboration with the Jonas Brothers, so that is probably the main reason it sticks out. It's got a catchy chorus, but I don't even remember the verses, to be honest, so I'll put it in pretty good also, above Pumping Up the Party. 1 in a Million, it's good, what can I say? I guess it's another one that I don't really like, but I can see why other people like it, so I'll put it in there. I feel like that's my kind of default category, where I don't have much opinion on the song. Okay, The Other Side of Me. I do really like this one. It's kind of the song based on the whole double life trope. I call it trope, like, I say that because other Disney Channel shows did the concept of a double life, like Kim Possible, Jet Jacks, and stuff like that. And yeah, because it's one of the tracks from the first season, it does also have that heavily disco 2000 sound, and people will either find that annoying or it will make them love the song, and I fall into the latter of those two, so it's going in bop above Old Blue Jeans. Don't Want to Be Torn. This might be my favourite song from the show, because I think it just reflects any moment in your life where you have to make a big decision, because you're always taught to follow your heart in anything, but you never know what to do when your heart doesn't know what to do, because a lot of the time in life with decisions, there isn't a clear right or wrong answer. There isn't a clear comparison to be made, and so you just have to spend ages and ages pondering over the decision before eventually making one and having to live with the consequences of it if it goes wrong. And yeah, it's a horrible feeling, and I think this song is just there for you throughout that. So to the top of legendary you go. Now, The Good Life. This one, it's kind of a better version of What's Not to Like, I think, because it does also feel a bit braggy, but I think this one manages to talk about memories slightly more than What's Not to Like does, so it's at least somewhat sentimental. So I'll put it above 1 in a Million in there. And now the last one, which I never hear people talking about, You and Me Together. And I hadn't heard the song for a while when I'd got back into Hannah Montana. Like, it barely even features in the show. If I remember rightly, it's in the season 2 episode where it's one of the sort of funny things they do at the end of an episode. And if I remember rightly, Jackson comes in some weird costume, and so that's funny. But apart from that, the song is barely put out there, and so you only know it if you've listened to the soundtrack or you've just happened to come across like a video with it in, which is annoying because I love the song. Like, I really do love this song. It's got the classic 2000s sound to it, and it's really sweet, really sentimental about sort of best friendship. I feel like I shouldn't combine best friends and friendship. Like, they're separate words. I've gone and coined best friendship there. So yeah, we'll have that term. I think this song has to go in legendary because I love it so much. I'll put it above You'll Always Find Your Way Back Home. Now then, all the other songs I do not remember or I've never heard. So I'm going to listen to each of them, and then I'll put them on the tier list after I've finished listening to the song. Okay, Are You Ready is incredibly catchy, so I can't believe I forgot about that one. Like, I guess there isn't anything deeply sentimental in the lyrics, so it's not comparable to my favourite songs in the show, but it's definitely going in bop. I think I'll put it below I'll Always Remember You and above The Other Side of Me. Okay, I think It's Alright Here's title says all that it needs about the song. The song's alright. It's definitely a meh category one. I don't really have a strong opinion either way on that one. I'll put it above Supergirl. Okay, Need a Little Love I've definitely heard before, and I only just realised it when I listened to the song again. It's the one she did with Sheryl Crow, so it's really good, this one. I think I'll put it in legendary because it's just a beautiful song and it's so right. We all need a little love, not the relationship kind, but the love that we should give to our fellow human beings. And yeah, I think that's telling. You know, we're all gonna have rough days, and I think that song celebrates the people who are there for us on those rough days. A shout out to all of you, because those who spread love deserve all of it and more back. Love That Let's Go. It's definitely one of the sadder ones from the show, but I think it does a good job of being sad without being upsetting. So it will get pretty good category from me. Okay, I don't think Kiss It Goodbye is that good. I think the lyrics are trying to tell you to not let life pass you by, but the problem is there's just a pure early 2010s disco going on in the background, and it just feels like a mess. So I'll put it at the top of Don't Like, because there's good lyrics there, it's just the song is a mess, so the message doesn't come across well. Okay, let's do this. It's certainly got a catchy melody, as it's a disco song, kind of, but I didn't really see a whole lot in the lyrics, so I feel like that falls into my meh category, because I think most of the songs that I've put in meh are either songs with good music but not good lyrics, or good lyrics but not good music, and then Best of Both Worlds and Supergirl are there because I kind of find them like overplayed, sort of. Can't believe I forgot about Mixed Up, because I heard that song and immediately remembered like all I thought about that song. It's pretty good musically, and the lyrics are exceptional, because the song kind of really well conveys the feeling you get constantly as you grow up, that you think the old times were easier. Now, is that true? Almost never in reality, but it doesn't stop the feeling that you get, and I think this song conveys that meaning quite well. So I'm going to put it below Been Here All Along. Pretty good. Now, there's just one more song to go, and then we're done. So, Just a Girl. I cannot believe I've not heard this one before. Like, I know I've said earlier in the tier list that I didn't really like the slow songs, and this one isn't entirely slow, but for a lot of the song it is slow, but it does a really good job of being vulnerable, and then just kind of it gets faster to kind of show the anxiety that the life Hannah is living gives her. And yeah, it's by no means a ballad, but emotionally it really does convey some meaning. And yeah, I think the song portrays Hannah's character well as showing the things she got that she didn't want. Like, she was just chasing her dream in life like anyone else and ended up with a lot that she didn't like. So I'm gonna put this at the bottom of the box because it conveys quite a deep message. But that concludes the tier list. Now, this video was a little bit different, a little bit slower maybe. So yeah, I don't think it's the best video I've ever made, but I just thought it'd be nice to kind of get to talk about Hannah Montana and the songs. Now, if you're wondering with Sims content, I'm just waiting for a good idea to do, but when I think of one, I will make a video on it. If not, it will probably be whenever the next new scenarios drop, and I'll do videos on any of them that interest me. But apart from that, that is it. So as always, thank you for watching and going down this little nostalgia trip of Hannah Montana with me. Can't believe it's been 11 years since the show ended. But yeah, I love you all so much. I hope to see you next time. Until then, goodbye.